afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. This is May Always Joy Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. It's the first of the month. Get your
Woo!
check and come home. Yeah, it's the first of the month. Can you believe it? We're in November. It's
November
just
on.
October is just ended. I hope y'all enjoyed your Halloween. I don't celebrate like usually. Like on Halloween day, the door is locked. No candy in the house. Don't come by my house. I'm not getting nothing to nobody. And as you know, this is November, and November is a big month for me because it's gonna be in a couple of weeks my 51st birthday.
Ooh,
Yeah. Also, both my couple of my sisters, my brothers, nieces, and nephews were all born in November, so it's a
oh,
special month for us. And just celebrate, just came back from one of my oldest nephew's birthday. He just turned 47, so we
your
have a large.
nephew turned 47?
Yes, because
Wow.
my sister, my oldest sister, she just turned 67 this year. This is
Okay.
her second oldest child, and we grew up with like almost like brothers. So shout out to Albert McCollum, he goes by, he has his name. And he is my nephew, and he was named after my dear mother, Miss Alberta. I want to give her a shout out to the lady who really named. So folks, as you know, I have a lovely lady here. She is an NPC figure competitor. Her lady, and we were working for a time. We have the lovely Mrs. Maria Berretta. It's got like the gun, bang, bang, bang.
Bang,
So,
bang.
so she is a competitor. She last year competed at nationals, and also she has a very interesting story about how she got into bodybuilding. Her story about bodybuilding, that's why I enjoyed the opportunity to talk to these ladies and share their path. And she's also from the West Coast, so yeah. It's South out here. It's South out here, like girl. Y'all from the South. Y'all West Coast people. Y'all about bad as New York people, New York City. So welcome, Maria, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Excited to have you here. So, um, Maria, what got you started in sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
So, honestly, originally, as a kid, like a little kid, all through elementary school, I used to get bullied a ton for being skinny. It's like you can't win. You're too skinny, you get made fun of. You're too big, you get made fun of. Kids are mean.
Yeah, adults are just as worse too.
Yeah, that's true, especially online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that now, and I'm like, come on, guys, I'm not like half as big as I want to get yet, and already getting the hate, but it's okay.
Well, like my favorite character, Silky Johnson, played hate. He says, "Let them hate till they can't hate no more."
Yes, exactly.
All right.
But yeah, that's what originally like created the idea in my head that I wanted to get bigger, right? So it started way back then. And my first experience with actual weightlifting was in high school when I was 16 years old. I used to train with the football team. So that's when my love for the weights started. But life is kind of weird and went through some kind of dramatic stuff when I was like 18, 19 and got put on hold for a while. But I really, really started getting into it about 12 years ago. I hired my first coach then and really wanted to compete, but wasn't able to because of some crazy health issues that went undiagnosed for a really long time. A really long time that made it impossible for me to stay healthy long enough to make it on the stage. But as of last year, finally did it.
That's it. That's it. I know a lot of people found bodybuilding for them to help their process, especially in life, especially going through health or mental issues.
Oh yeah.
It's that sport that even though it's not as popular compared to other sports, it seems like it just give somebody a purpose. Like yourself, I was in high school. Well, we used to when we grew out in the country. My brother used to play football. He was the one who really got into the bodybuilding thing, and we used to take like cinder blocks and stuff and lift weights. And by the time I was in high school, I was playing football team. I was one of the strongest guys on my team. I was like 16 and already doing 350 on the bench. And I
Woo.
remember yeah, this is a true story. One of the guys one of my teammates was saying, "George, man, you strong." I said, "Yeah, yeah." And he asked me to say, "George, what?" So you ever have some? I said, "What do you mean have some?" He said, "No." Or son, is a country phrase. Then you cock strong. So so the you told us about the condition. What was the condition and what's it about?
So it's a kind of rare connective tissue disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. There are a ton of different varieties, I think like almost 30 different kinds that affect you differently. I thankfully have the least severe of the EDSs. And even that, like being the least severe, has caused so many issues. I could only imagine what people with worse kinds go through. It's wild. It causes a lot of fatigue, chronic pain in your joints. I was breaking bones, tearing ligaments very easily because it affects connective tissue, right? So it's literally every part of your body is connective tissue, your bones, ligaments, tendons, your skin. My skin tears easily. Like I cut easier. I feel things more like heat. I'm a lot more sensitive to heat because my nerves are more exposed because I have thinner skin. So it's just all kinds of stuff. And it could also affect like your heart, organs. It's a mess. But I didn't know that I had it, right? And it's something that you're born with. You can't like develop it later in life. So if you're good, you're good. But I went undiagnosed for a really long time. And when I started getting into bodybuilding, I would build myself up to a certain point where I'm like, okay, putting on a little mass, right? Like, all right, starting to like that reflection. And then boom, I would get hurt from simple things, sometimes from training, just simply from training. Other times I'd possibly just slip on a puddle and boom, there goes a ligament in my foot. You know, like it was pretty drastic. And it was hard psychologically because I knew that being on that stage was what I wanted, but my body felt like it was working against me, right? And it was like stuck in this cycle for 10 years of, all right, starting back at zero, but let's keep going, right? Let's try it again. And it was, I mean, 10 years is a long time,
Yeah.
but I wasn't diagnosed until 2022,
Mm.
something that I've had my whole life. And it took that long to be diagnosed. But after the diagnosis, I was able to turn it around. So, you know, I had to do a ton of research. Of course, my specialists were like, look, I know you're not going to want to hear this. You have EDS. You can't be a bodybuilder. Like, that's not, you can't do that's not something you can do. Your body can't handle it. And me being stubborn like I am, and once I set my mind to something, like, I don't know, like, nobody tells me no, you know? So I said, all right, you know what? Look, thank you for the diagnosis. Let me go do my own research. And that's actually my struggles with my health are what led me to becoming a nutritionist and trainer to try to help other people, you know, that don't necessarily want to just feed into the, well, now you got to take all these meds that aren't going to cure you, but it'll help kind of control your symptoms, you know. But I don't like that. I don't like big pharma. I don't like being on pills for the rest of my life that aren't fixing me, right? So I decided to change my diet first, um, which for EDS, I had to give up dairy. And I love dairy. But you think like, hey, look, no cheese is worth the pain that it causes me. But it's a weird reaction to dairy. I was never lactose intolerant at all. Like at all. I could digest it just fine. I would like chug like this much, half and half, and be totally cool. But it causes what's called mast cell activation, which is a
Mm.
weird inflammatory response. So when I have dairy, like now, for example, after being off dairy for almost 3 years, the moment I like, let's say I accidentally have it, say I go eat a steak and they put butter on it, right? I'll know within like 20 minutes that I've had dairy because I'm in excruciating pain. Like it feels like knives through my joints.
Ooh.
It's wild. And it's like dairy, like what? You know, like you think like that's crazy that it could cause such quick inflammation in someone with my condition, right?
Yeah.
But so that was step one, changing my diet. And then just not accepting it, you know, like there's so much to be said for the power of our minds, right? Like I feel like if you just accept defeat in health or in anything, right? Career, whatever it is, like that's it. You're done, right? But yeah, I mean the mind is just so powerful. And I just refuse to accept that diagnosis that I couldn't be a bodybuilder, right? Like, no, this is the love of my life. I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah. Well, I got to understand it because I have, especially with me, I have issues Some of most of it's genetics. I have for almost 11 years I have a pacemaker, and because I have issues with my heart. My father, he died from heart failure. My mother, she had also issues with diabetes. I got arthritis in both knees. I got knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I can understand dealing with that. I do take medication. I used to take a lot more, but then I was one point I was at 500 pounds, and
Oh,
because I
wow.
was taking care of my mom for a long time, she was sick. I was taking care of her, and when she
Mhm.
passed, I realized that I got to take care of myself.
Yeah.
So I make some changes too. I don't do dairy too much. Like even though I do like some ice cream and like a piece of cheese every now and then, it'd be like this, it'd be like Pookie, like you be like we call it say like take the love for the brother, the love But that's the thing is that that's about the process of what you want to bring, especially doing as a bodybuilder, and you're doing it in a sport where your skin has to be nearly paper thin,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if you want to pop on stage. You have to be as I had hate when my crimes admit with to you, Maria. My crime is I am a muscle person. Y'all ladies to society. When you're on stage and y'all ripped and shredded. I remember a long time ago when I started going online. I remember this was message board, and this guy he was the I think he was the head of the message board. Something like that. He told me say, "Hey kid, welcome to the message board. Hey, thank you. I'm a new member." So yeah. I said, "Well, it's an old smoke saying. So what's it say?" It said, "Hey, when your ladies rock hard, we're rock hard." So you know, but that's the thing is everybody finds something to help them deal with because of anything in life. And you went through something that I think quite a few people, understand what it is, especially when you get a sport like bodybuilding.
Hmm. Oh yeah. No, yeah, for sure, for sure. But then, looking back, it's like mentioning like, the paper thin, like you want that. And it's funny because like that's my skin naturally, right? So I do feel like it makes me look more vascular, even if I'm not like crazy lean because of my skin. So it's like, and then another thing, like it causes low blood pressure. And, I mean, I'm not shy about the fact of, my PD use. It's part of the sport. But a lot of people that use PEDs suffer from issues with high blood pressure, right? And mine is just perfect. So I almost feel like, yes, I have this possibly debilitating disease, right? That wreaked havoc and caused me a ton of pain for most of my life. But now it also has some benefits. So it's like my silver lining, right? Which
That's
it's interesting. Like you choose to look at like the good, right? And it's yeah, it's interesting, but it's been quite the road to make it on that stage last year. Last year were my first two shows, but it was the best feeling in the world, honestly. I've said it time and time again. Like I had never felt more like myself than the first time I stepped on that stage. It's like this is me. Like I belong here, and it's to finally be able to do that. After so long was just it's a dream come true, literally.
Yeah, I think everybody finds their path in the sport because instead again, bodybuilding is not as a popular sport compared to the others, and that's always been the issue about it because of the use of performance enhancers, steroids. But
Yeah.
when the everyday person we look at it, that's all you needed. This you just pop a couple of pills, you can be Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Right.
you can but
They're magic, don't you know?
It, but it doesn't work like that. It's part of your recovery. It helps you bounce back. If you like I talked to natural competitors, it takes
Mhm,
them longer to recover because they're not
mhm.
taking a performance enhancer or steroid or something because it's
Yeah.
needed for the help with all like the joint issues and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
But with the more common use of it is that's it's used for just to help you rebound after you do a long workout, a hard day, because your body's breaking itself down and trying to rebuild itself back up, and it helps in that recovery.
Right.
And the diet is the most important part about it.
Oh yeah.
Everything is you have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, you have to
Mhm.
be understanding because this could be a sport that can drain you mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Yeah.
Like when you first finally got a stage and you started out in figure exclusive, was there any thought of any other division before then?
Yeah, so prior to working with my coach, my current coach, which I think is my forever coach, love him. um, I only thought I'd ever be big enough to do bikini. I dreamt of being larger. Like I always say, like, I want to be a monster, you know? I tell my mom, like, look, mom, I've already been young, thin, pretty. Now I want to be a monster. All right. Now that I'm old, just let me be a monster. That's what I want.
Well, I can say you're a pretty monster. Because I think that's one thing. I think your mother, I know she wants her, but sweetheart, I don't want you to be so big and bulky, and I don't want you to scare everybody else. But
Scare the boys.
yeah, that's the thing that's concerned about, especially when you get into sport. But that thing is that there's some amazing ladies who are just like one lady I'm a fan of, and she's got to be the most beautiful woman in bodybuilding, and that is Andrea Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
She is just at the top. She's my girlfriend, and
Oh.
and one thing I often do this because this is why as my other half like to say, Maria, if you get something, never do it for free. And I always want to bring this out. Shout out to my friend. Her name is Eunice. She runs her own company called Bad Rap. And she was at the Olympia back in 2023 when it was in Orlando. She got me this issue. She sent it to me like a week after my birthday. It was an issue of muscle development. And what makes this is what fuels me as a person to keep doing what I'm doing. When the current six-time Miss Olympia tells me, George, I love what you're doing. I support you. She autographed this. She tells me this.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? Doing this, like I said, doing this, I started doing this because I was taking my mom for a long time, and it helped with my mindset. We often find something that help us in our life, and
Yeah.
then if it's something we enjoy and we love doing, it's something really you live for.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's helped me through a lot, and it's also pushed me, I think, to not give up, you know. Um it especially this year. I mean, I honestly, there was a point 11 months ago now that I thought that I was done, that I wouldn't be able to go back to this national show in Dallas next month because, I mentioned to you briefly, I believe, like I broke my back in January. January 1st, like 1-1, right? To get the year started off with a bang. It was a car accident, really, really bad car accident. But again, because of my condition, car accidents are a lot more dangerous for someone like me, because we do have weaker tissues, right? Like no matter how built out I've, made my muscles, like the reality is I still have EDS, right? So yeah, I had a 40% compression fracture of my T12, 8 disc herniations, traumatic scoliosis. It's not terrible, the scoliosis, but it's there. So hearing that, I'm like, that's it. Like how am I gonna do the show? Like how am I gonna go back to lifting? Like I have a broken back, like I have to have surgery. And I did experience that, a small time where I was depressed about that, right? Anytime you can't do what you love, it's tough, right? Like mentally. But at the same time, I decided, you know what? No. Again, like I'm not accepting this defeat.
Yeah.
And mentally, right, I just said, no, like I know what I've been able to overcome physically. And like the doctors don't know me, they don't know how hard, how far I can push myself. And again, I was careful about it, right? Like there's certain lifts that I haven't done all year. Like I haven't squatted, I haven't deadlifted, I haven't done any hip thrusts. So I had to, drastically change my training, right? And I had to be hyper aware in the gym, just focusing. I have to wear the lifting belt all the time. But, I had to make changes. But the point is, like, I again was like, no, I'm not going to give up. And I went to a specialist. He told me he recommended surgery. But I asked, like, is it something I have to do right now? Like, is it like, urgent? He said, no. Whenever you can't deal with the pain, come back. And I'm like, oh, we're good then.
I I would say, that's something you always do later, or we feel like you're ready. One example of somebody I think he mentioned that years ago that he regretted he didn't do it. That's Ronnie Coleman when he decided to take a step back because he was focused on winning his next Olympia.
Hmm.
That was his choice. Everybody has their choice, especially
Yeah.
when in this sport, and it's about being competitive. But you know what? Always do what's best for you.
Yeah.
and it still matters. So, folks, while we have Maria here, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into her social media for a bit. If you want to follow her, her link in the description of this live stream. Interested in supporting her and passion for bodybuilding. She says she's going to do nationals. That's in December. That's one of the last end of the year pro qualifiers. That's in Dallas, Texas. It's one of the biggest. I would say next to we just had the Olympia,
Hmm.
amateurs just about can it be about a month ago,
Yeah.
and it's one of the biggest qualifiers around. But folks, if you do follow guys, I know she's a pretty girl. She she's right now. She's got her shows and stuff off. You see all that, but guys, I'm gonna tell you that. And there you go. You got a bicep. You sick freaks. So put away your lotion, your tissue. But guys, do me this big favor. I'm asking you politely. No D pics. None. Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help.
Yes, I know. Like I said, hey, these guys, when they see women like you, to get excited. Y'all so she's in good shape. She's all pumped up. But come on, guys, do better, act better. You get more in life if you're just a little sweeter, not a little salty. So we're gonna jump into social media for a little bit. So you want to follow her
Agreed.
links in the description of the live stream. And here she is. And your first show was what was that show?
It was West Coast Classic in Riverside, June of last year.
What was that feeling like? That was your first show on the stage. What was that feeling like for you?
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was, like I said, I felt like for the first time in my life, I was exactly where I belonged. I've always been, I'm an Aquarius. For those of you that believe in signs, we always feel like we're from a different planet. We don't really feel at home here on Earth. And that changed that day, that first show. And of course, you go through like waves with bodybuilding, like I'm not big enough and I'm not ready, but it was just an incredible feeling. Incredible. I can barely even explain that. Like, it's just the best feeling in the world, and it's not necessarily winning, right? But it's just finally being able to just do it after having failed for so long.
Yeah, I think
There's nothing
everybody,
like it.
yeah, everybody has the opportunity when they get to compete. Different stories. Sometimes be nervous. Some people be saying, what, this is where I need to be. You know, like I said, for
Mhm.
these pictures, you look pretty good. Here, there's a little video she posted. Was it? I think it was a few days ago. I saw this, and that's what we got to be interested to talk about you.
Ooh, I think I went just a tad heavy on my salt in my water there. No worries. So I have to wait for my Steel Fit products to absorb. I'm turning all red. So I had a thought because Sundays are football and chores days. So I had to do laundry and my arms were like getting super fatigued and I felt super tired just folding laundry and making my bed. But then I started thinking, like, it is so incredible how powerful our minds can be. Because even though I'm tired, obviously being in show prep, I can still come in here, my Shangri-La, my happiest place on earth, and still hit PRs, even though I'm like, what, 9 weeks into my cut? That's incredible. Yeah, I just don't think we give our brains the credit they deserve. So keep that in mind. It is crazy what we can do if we put our minds to it. So let this burn and let's get this upper body day started. Cheers.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's very. You should be proud of yourself
Thank
because said
you.
again, this sport is tough. There's a lot of things you got to put in, a lot of fact sacrifices you got to make. Here, you was at a seminar, and
Hmm.
when was this?
I was earlier this year. I can't remember the exact date, honestly. My prep brain is my brain's not braining very well. But Wendy Fortino is one of my idols. So anytime she's available to speak to in person, like I'm there. It was
Mhm.
quite the drive, but so worth it. She's such an incredible human being. Obviously being a figure lady, that's been around for a really long time, has a ton of Olympias under her belt. But it's not just that, like she's just such a genuine and kind soul. It's yeah, I really look up to her.
Hmm.
It was a
Well,
fun seminar.
yeah, I follow Miss Fatino. Since I posted stuff, she responded back to me every now and then. I would love to have her guest in the interview someday. I know she works with one of the legendary women in bodybuilding, Linda Murray. They just did a little interview because also there's
Yes.
Sadie Williamson, who is one of the top judges in the sport of bodybuilding. Then
HBIC.
head bitch in charge. So yeah, and it's a thing about bodybuilding. It's a process, the
Mhm.
growth and the development as an athlete. And you did nationals last year, and you placed fourth. What
For
was that experiences like for you at that show?
honestly, it was incredible. I am fairly competitive, so there was like a moment of like 10 minutes where I told my coach like I was bummed out. I'm gonna get fourth. And he brought me back to reality real quick. He's like, Maria, this is your second show ever. This is one of the biggest shows of the year. To come in for like you should be proud. You should be happy. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I was 100 freaking 10 pounds like a year ago. But it honestly it was incredible. And my experience thus far, because being a girl, like you think sometimes, oh, like all these women back there, like, are they going to be catty? No, honestly, like I have made such awesome connections with other women at these shows. I've never experienced that. You know what I mean? Like it's always been like, yeah, we're in competition with one another, but that doesn't mean we can't be kind, right? And it's fun. I always have a blast. I make friends backstage. It's that show is amazing, honestly. Like I and getting to work with that photographer, Gilco, his stuff is always amazing. And overall, it was just a great experience. The tanning, the pro tan, they were awesome. The makeup artists as well that work with that show, like the whole experience was just amazing. And also, I hate the Cowboys. No offense, Dallas, but I love Dallas. Dallas was amazing. I'm like, dude, I get it. I get why so many people from LA are moving there.
Well, I'm not a Cowboys fan either. I mean, not ever since Jimmy Jones fired. I wasn't a big fan back then, but when he fired, Jerry Jones fired Jimmy Johnson. He messed up the team since then.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's a top level show. I interviewed some ladies who competed. I got a pro card there, and for the
Ooh,
pictures here, you look really good. I mean, fourth
thank you.
place, it's pretty good. Especially this, you only been competing for a year. Some
Yeah.
ladies have competed for 10, 20 years before they ever get the pro cards. I just saw one lady who stepped away from bodybuilding a long time ago, and now she's on the way. She's going to compete in a couple of weeks at the USA Masters, and she used to be American
Oh,
Gladiator. And she was a bodybuilder for a good while, but then she never turned pro in her career, and then now she's coming back at 62 years old.
Lori.
And yeah.
I know her
Yeah.
personally. Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
used to love watching American Gladiators when I was a kid. I mean, it was a great show. Like people like Zap, Ray Holet, and the late Tanya Knight, and especially when you guys love bodybuilders. And
Yeah.
this picture,
Yeah.
here's a picture right here. I kind of like too. This is one here.
Showing off the
Wow,
abs a little bit.
the abs. I mean, wow. That to me, a great physique. The centerpiece has to be the abs.
Yeah.
If everything else comes together, but you have a great set of abs, it's just top level.
Oh,
Now,
thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
you're working with. Now you talk about your coach. Who's your coach and how long you've been working with?
So I've been working with him since 2024. I remember I always say happy coach athlete anniversary. So January 4th of last year. His name's Darren Starr. He is online. He's out of Tennessee, but we vibe super well. Like I always tell my mom, both my coaches are like male versions of me. Very like blunt, straightforward, don't like to be around the bush, like just business, right? Which I really appreciate. And yeah, I mean, and honestly, like when I first started working with him, because you reach out to multiple coaches, right? he was the only one willing to work with me on my weird diet. And I remember he said, "Well, that's fucking weird, but yeah, let's do it." Because when I started working with him, I was actually carnivore, like 100% carnivore, only meat and eggs all day, every day. And that had to change, because I did have to incorporate white rice, but that's the only carb I eat. Like, it's so, my diet is so boring. Like, I eat the same things all day, every day for 2 years. Zero variety. Like, it's pretty wild. But yeah, so that was like the determining factor for us working together, and it was meant to be, because like yeah, it's I feel like a match made in heaven. And then I recently started working with a new posing coach, armor training, out of Houston, Lalo Amesqua, and he's made a world of difference. I think that's going to be a big factor in this national show compared to last year. I wasn't like regularly working with a posing coach for nationals last year, and it's funny, like looking back, right? And seeing my progress, like from the very first show, which now I look back and I'm like, "Jeez, that posing girl, good God," to then nationals last year. And I'm like, okay, there's definitely improvement, right? From my first show. But now, like seeing my posing now and just like my flow, it's night and day. So I'm super
Hmm.
excited for the show.
Yeah.
I want to bring back that card.
Yeah. Posing is very important. It's part of the process
Mhm.
as you train, you develop. You want to have a nice presentation because you ladies have to bring both femininity and muscularity to the
Yeah.
stage. And and when you're in a division where you have to wear the high heels, like bikini and wellness and fitness, and it's totally different when you look at the divisions of which I follow a little more. That's women's body and physique because they do a little more, but you always got to do a lot of turning. But it's about how you move,
Yeah.
and the judges are pressing that. You want those good aesthetics. Like with figure, what I'm learning is you have to have that great round cap shoulders, that great how they say that nice V taper. You like an
Mhm.
upside down Dorito, as the ladies tell me. I mean, I just this week, just last week, I just interviewed three figure pros, and it's a division that really it's just it straddles between the lines
Yes.
when you look at the muscle level
Yeah.
compared to the other divisions. Like as you know, there's a new vision coming out, and I gotta point it out. I'm not a fan of it. It's called excuse me, fit model. It's supposed to be a throwback to bikini, but
Yeah.
his thing is each division evolves over time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It does. Figure has. If you look at photos from Olympians back in 2012, which I guess it was a long time ago, it doesn't feel like it. We're getting old. But the difference in density and conditioning and size, and I'm talking Olympia, right? Like these were the top ladies in the world at that point. It's changed a tremendous amount, and yeah, you're right. It evolves. It definitely evolves. But it should, right?
Well, the thing is, it's part of the process as an
Yeah.
athlete. But the thing with y'all women, y'all don't get the same leeway as the men. The
Mm.
guys can go as big and huge and rich as they want, but women, you have to stay feminine. You got to be
Yeah.
pretty. You can't be too big. You can't scare the people out there. You have to feel comfortable in your own skin when you get into this. And we talking earlier how people, have judgments about, especially women in bodybuilding. I usually tell me that they have guys say, "Hey, you trying to be a man? You trying to be like, whoa, dude.
All the
Men and
time.
women are biologically different. This is how I say that we're the same race, but we're different species. Gender, whatever you want to say.
Mhm.
We develop differently. Women, y'all do not have the testosterone level that men have. That's why
Mhm.
you do use PEDs or steroids because you need that extra testosterone to build the muscle.
Mhm.
And the look is going to be different. Like you look at someone Andrea Shaw, and you compare someone like who I actually got to meet when I was in Tampa, the current Mr. Olympia, Derek Lungford. Those
Mm.
are two different levels. You can't never compare them because I've seen people here where Derek's not as buff as Andrea, but that's a woman, that's a man. You
Right.
know, he puts on more mass. And
And
it's just, if you don't understand it, why even say anything about it?
yeah, yeah, 100%. a hundred
Yeah,
percent. And it
yeah.
it is wild, and I feel like honestly, like I've always been hyper feminine in the way I dress, but also a total tomboy. So I feel like figure is me, because like you said, it's like a culmination, right? Of like muscularity, right? But also femininity. But I do struggle with that, like with the flow. I used to do a little bit of lyra too, like aerial hoop. I miss it. I miss it. It's like just acrobatics, right? But it had to be put on hold because it would make my ribs pop out of place a lot, and then it would affect my lifting. And I'm like, all right, that'll be there for me later, right? But it was the same thing, and I always struggled with like the hands, the hands. My coach is always like, your hands, feminine hands, feminine hands. I'm like, ah. So it is, but it's a lot of work, right? Like to bring that confidence, but also like that flow, right? And but I think, yeah, I mean, I'm so happy to be in this division. I never thought, if you would ask 100-pound me 10 years ago if I'd ever compete in figure, I'd say no way, it's impossible. You know, but here I am, and I still obviously have a lot of growing to do, which God's help hopefully keeps me healthy long enough. Like I want to do, I want to get bigger. But
Yeah.
it's, yeah, the hate. I don't understand. This happened to me in person, and this was my first show. Okay, I was like, I don't know, probably 15 pounds smaller than I am now, and I was at a public gym and minding my own business. I was recording my posing for my coach, right? And in like the mirrored room, and I'm doing my lat spread, and this guy walks in straight to me, looks at me up and down, and says, "Wow, that's fucking disgusting." Does a 180 and walks out. Like this man walked in there just to say that. And leave. Like, and I'm like, look, okay, everyone they have their preferences, right? That's totally fine. Am I your girlfriend? Like, what does my being muscular affect you? I've never seen you before in my life. I probably will never see you again. Like, what do you care? And if I can't be muscular inside of a gym, where is it okay for me to be muscular?
Uh,
Like, that's wild, right?
it
Like,
sounds it sounds like it's not like y'all two were going to wake up in the morning in a warm shower, and eating
right.
breakfast together. It's just some men feel like when women would put on muscle, it's like intruding into muscle. Is not exclusive for men. Look at me. I don't have muscles. I got boobs and some women, you know, and it's about you as an athlete, as you build, you develop, and you grow. I think the thing is, as a man, we shouldn't even say nothing. Hey, if you don't like it, hey, mind your own business.
Right.
Some guys, they just feel like they want to voice their opinion. But you know what? Opinions like asshole. Everybody has one. You have to. This is the thing is, as long as you love what you're doing, it shouldn't matter what anybody got to say.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, this is again, it's a sport about dedication. Like especially eating same meals of the day, the discipline you have to have. Most people don't have that. Most people couldn't do what y'all do. Get up in the morning, train, diet, work out, and wash and repeat. You might as well say
Right.
because there's so much involved in it and you don't understand it. Here's the thing is either educate yourself about it or just hey, just move on. Just live your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, like go about your day. And that's another thing too that I find interesting and it's kind of a challenge for me in my like career space, right? Being a trainer. I get a ton of women who we call them normies, right? Like non-bodybuilders. And the first thing they say to me, and some of my girlfriends included, like I tell them, hey, you're in your 40s now. It's very important for you to do some weight training just for your bone health, right? Just you should get in the gym. First thing they say, yeah, but I don't want to look like you.
Oh my God. That's the
And it's like,
typical one.
I promise you, you will not. It's
And
like, I wish it were that easy. Shoot.
I think someone like this, if I lift about 10 pounds, they're afraid they're gonna look like Bev Francis. Or, if it's not, it doesn't work like that. If you don't
No.
diet, you don't train, you don't be consistent, and here's the thing is, if you do follow a workout plan, you see benefits. Like I said again, I lifted weights when I was younger. I mean, it did help a good bit, But when after got out of high school and got in the real world, it changed. But
Yeah.
then when I decided, I wanted to get a little healthy, it did help. Like I was talking with my cousin, say, "Hey, you really lost some weight." I say, "Yeah, because I made some changes. I'm not going to be perfect because this afternoon before like I had a bacon double cheeseburger from from Burger King with fries, and I did hear my
Throw that in my
sister.
face.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it happened like that. I had a big layout at my sister's house, for my nephew's birthday, and I ate
Mhm.
some and brought some on leave, so I want to cook tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, it's about the choices you make and
Yeah.
decisions you make if you invest yourself into the sport. So after the nationals, what was critique from the judges? Did you get the critique, or what do you feel like you need to work on?
Yeah. I spoke to Sandy personally, and she told me I had to grow. Short, quick, and to the point. Gotta grow. So I have a friend who competes a lot, and she did. I've lost count of how many shows this girl has done this year. And she told me like, don't you have the itch to like do a show? And I told her, yeah, of course. Like I love being on that stage. But if the HBIC Miss Williamson already told me I have to grow, why am I going to cut my growth phase short just to compete? Like I already have the goal, right? So that's why I decided. Well, and also like I broke my back, but I
That's
decided to just do nationals instead of doing like a warm up show like some people do or something like that. Because, by placing fourth last year, it automatically qualifies me again this year without having to win regionally, right? So I just decided like, no, like just work your butt off for as long as you can until that show, and because she said I had to grow. So, and I have. Never is not enough, right? Never as much as I would like to, but I have grown. So we'll see. We'll see. That's the thing. Like I, always like want to step on there like with confidence. But the truth of the matter is, in this sport, right? Like in especially like in amateurs, you don't know who's gonna show up, right? Like you never
Mhm.
know who else is gonna be there. And when they say everything's bigger in Texas, they're not lying.
Yeah. I've seen Texas has become a mecca for bodybuilding. The last
Yeah.
few years, it used to be California and
Hmm.
Florida, but now Texas, like people like who I got the pleasure of meeting when I was in Tampa. Now she's number two in the world, and that is Ashley Jones, and she is competing next weekend at the Steve Carr Classic, and
Hmm.
she lives in Texas. Julia Foray, several other like Jessica Reyes Padilla, who was
Love her.
number,
Yeah.
yeah, not a big fan of hers. I'm just, I'm just like, I'm gonna say that I'm not a big fan of hers. A lot of my friend Eunice, who runs her company Bad Rap. I mean, she's in Texas because when I went to Tampa, we were hanging out together, and that's the
Yeah.
middle between us is David Lee Roth. I got to meet David Lee Roth. I mean, I wouldn't met him in North Carolina sitting here at home. I went there to help my friend out. And I got to meet a legend. I remember listening to his music when I was growing up, and it's just an experience for me, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I can talk to you ladies and hear your stories and your paths, this was really, really energizes me as a content creator. And
Hmm.
what you went through, in your life, the dealing with your diagnosis, going through your accident and still wanting to compete, and also, that's in a way that's kind of smart thing. Just do nationals if you already qualify, because being a bodybuilder, especially for a woman, is highly expensive.
Yeah.
You know, compared like this, like even though the guys have their expenses, but
Yeah.
most time when time for show day, they got to put on some spray tan, banana hammocks, a pair of board shorts. That's it.
Right. What are they,
You
$20?
at the most maybe 50 to 100, depending on if they
Okay.
give them, if they give
Okay.
'em- if they give 'em sparkly,
Yeah.
But you ladies, it's expensive because like again, you have to bring that femininity to this part of it. You have to have your
Hmm.
nails done, your hair done, your makeup. You have to have the suits right there. That's the cost. And as an amateur, you have to still pay because you might be saying, let me do like in some cases with amateurs you can cross over. Say like I mean, of you lady who earned a pro card at nationals in figure, but she was doing wellness. I have no ladies who done both physique and women's bodybuilding, and there's so much expense because this is a sport where you put so much into it,
Yeah.
but you don't get as much back like you should, like any other athlete in any other big name sport.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. I actually had someone ask me like a few days ago how much money I was spending to do this one show. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like just for the show? He's like, no, no. Like I want you to tell me your food, your coaches, supplementation, like everything, like everything. And I had never thought about it, right? I just like in my head, I'm like, yeah, it's expensive. You know, it's probably my biggest expense. But I had never like actually crunched the numbers, right? And I did, and our jaws dropped. Like it was for the year, like close to $20,000. Like that's a lot of money. You're like you have to really, and that's what people who don't understand the sport will like. They'll tell me like they'll find out I'm doing a show. Oh, cool. How much money are you gonna win? How much money am I going to win as an amateur in bodybuilding?
Nothing.
You mean how much am I spending?
That's
And then they're like, well, that's stupid. Why do you do it? Because I love it. Because I love it. It is like the thing that I want most on this world, right? Like just in this life. Like that's what I want the most. That's why I do it. And yeah, I mean it's hard, right? Like I have to like bust my butt just to cover these expenses. But when you suffer for something that you love, I can't complain. You know? I can't complain.
well, it doesn't hurt to vent every now and then because, like I said, it is an expense to travel
Yeah.
to the shows, not just the booking your motel room, and
Hmm.
also a lot of ladies. Some ladies, what they do, especially in the pro level, they do photo sessions, which helps
Hmm.
especially for social media. And some photographers would love to pay for the time. And then
Yeah.
there's the other kind of sites, as I call them, excuse my language, man, I call them the beat to meet websites. Come on, we know what they are. Because even though this is kind of a stream sport, because
Yeah.
the stream of it, there is a fetish. As I said again, I'm
Right.
just very smart. We guys, we love y'all ladies. We just get excited, you know, you know. But that's a part of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
To do the sport, you have to love to do it. If I'm no
Yeah.
lady tell me say, like, you're not like you go to a show, like you just had the Olympia. Derek Littlefield walks away with like nearly he just made over a year over $1 million. While
Yeah.
you look at someone like Andrea or Rhea Gale or say the other ladies in the other divisions where they just barely cracking $50,000 or $60,000.
I know.
Because the prize in some shows, you top prize might be $3,000 or $5,000. I think the
Yeah.
most was outside the Olympia. I think was the Pittsburgh Pro. I think they
Hmm.
put $20,000, and Natalia Cuejo won that. I
Yeah.
wish it was like any other sport where you can make a living off of it because you, like I said again,
Right.
you're a
Right.
trainer and that's your living. How long you been doing that?
2 years. 2 years.
And what was that before? What was your career before you got fully invested into bodybuilding training and nutrition?
I've jumped around. I was an executive assistant for a large part, but then also I hate being in an office. So I would like quit my executive assisting to like go work at a restaurant because like I need to be moving. I hate sitting down. And it's like it was hard because I made great money as an executive assistant, but I have no passion for that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I had some really cool bosses, great perks that came with that stuff. Like my last company I worked for, like I had unlimited paid time off. It was great. But there's no passion. Like I'm a people person. I like to have face-to-face interaction with people. So I'd always be like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to serving tables. So I would always be like jumping around between the two, but it's health and wellness is my passion. If I can eat, sleep, breathe it every day, like that's what I want to do. And again, having dealt with so many health issues personally and seeing how I was able to turn it around, just simply through dietary changes, like that's my own struggles led me to saying, hey, you know what? Like I want to help other people feel good. Like I want other people to have what I have. Obviously, I have no interest, honestly, in training athletes like myself because bodybuilders are crazy. Okay. I don't know how my
I,
coach does.
y'all are freaking nuts. I mean, I've done this for quite some time. Some ladies, there are some ladies I'm pretty cool with. Some ladies, I just, you know what, yeah, I had my handful of crazy women in my life. I had quite a few jobs. When I was younger, my family was sharecroppers. We worked a lot outside and in the fields, and then when I got my first real job was 16, when I worked in a
Mhm.
gas station. I did that till I was, till that place closed down until I was about 30. I worked in textiles where I was moving around, helping, moving this, moving that, and I had other jobs here and there. One of my jobs I had was I also worked in the service industry. It was a club, and you might call it a gentleman's club. So and that guy says, George, you still working the strip club? I say, yeah. I say, wow, man, you around those girls all night. I say, dude, this is how it is sometimes. It's a good night sometimes, a bad night. I have seen my fair share of this and that. I've broke up fights between strippers. I have had to take drunk guys out. I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, sunshine.
Right.
We have here, this might know you. This is Corey Patterson saying she has a beautiful
Oh.
personality. Is this a friend of yours or somebody popped in? It might be somebody that popped in.
I'm not sure. The last name doesn't seem super familiar, but I'm
Yeah.
terrible with names. And again, prep brain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, my dear, one of my favorite movies is Batman Begins, and the character Ra's al Ghul, played by Liam Neeson, he told Bruce Wayne, says, "Be aware of your surroundings all the time, young Master Wayne. Never give a sure foot and killing blow." In doing this, I have to be aware of my surroundings. I have to be aware of who I'm dealing with. Sometimes, yeah, I can understand. Y'all prep brain because you're low on glucose and you're like, my mind playing like my mind playing tricks on me. You get that hangry. Like this is like especially if you get a very sensitive diet dealing with your disease,
Yeah.
and especially after a show, after that
Mm.
long prep. Share me, Maria. What's that thing that you desired the most? That thing that was like, you got a chance. It was calling your name. It was calling
Oh
your
yeah.
name.
I hear it calling right now.
What is it?
Honestly, I've already made my reservations at Nick and Sam's in Dallas. I went there after my show last year. Incredible. Oh my God, I want beef tartare, one, and I want a big old tomahawk steak, and one glass of champagne.
Yeah. One got champagne. Just one more sip.
One more sip.
You better not have no guys around you. Say, hey, here you go, Maria. Just one more sip.
One
Yeah.
more sip.
Just one more sip. Hey, shout out to Corey. He says, just a fan popped in.
Ah.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother. We appreciate that. Because again, we do appreciate the people who do support these women. Because
Yeah.
again, it's a tough sport. And we have to deal with, as I call them, the haters. And hear about your haters, you'll hate so much, we care so little. But this is a sport of passion. We get
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Understanding the factors, the training, the dieting. Like, what's your regimen like? Especially, being you also you have to train other people. What's your training like?
So currently, I am only lifting 4 times a week. So I'm hitting upper body twice and legs twice a week. And then I'm doing cardio because I am cutting. I've been cutting now for, oh God, 10 weeks. Got 6 left to go. So I'm doing cardio every day, which not a huge fan, but we get used to it. I'm better at it than I used to be. I would always say like, no, cardio, no. But we can't get to lean without it, right? But it's heavy. It's pretty heavy. I'm still trying to progress, even though I'm cutting. My calories aren't super low, honestly. I'm an ectomorph. So I cut fairly easily. Um, I think my maintenance calories honestly have to be like 3,000 a day just to maintain. So I'm still at just over 2,000 a day right now. And I've dropped like 20 pounds, which
Yeah.
is wild.
I'm an endomorph. We really put on size. That's we usually are a lot more strong than y'all ectomorph because y'all skinny little people can break you in half. But yeah, that's the thing about training and dieting and everything involved with like when you are what you feel like your favorite. Like when you're in the gym and you're
Mm.
feeling it. What's that one that you're feeling it? It's like, damn, I'm feel good. And that one says, Shit, why I gotta do this?
So it's changed. It used to be shoulders. I used to love hitting shoulders. I still do, but I used to absolutely hate leg days. I used to hate them because I had chicken legs. I've had chicken legs my whole life. So like I hated training legs because I felt weak, right? But now I freaking love quad day. I love quad day. I don't know what happened to me. Like, who is this person? Who am I becoming?
I'm going to tell you this. I have interviewed quite a few ladies, and when they tell me they love leg day, I have to tell you, you're a sick freak. You're a masochist. You like pain. You want to live in pain. That's leg day is like if you remember the Chappelle Show episode where Rick James goes to Charlie Murphy's house,
Yeah.
and and Charlie and Rick is on Charlie's I mean Eddie's couch. It says, "F your couch, Eddie Murphy. F your couch." And Charlie and Eddie beat his legs. That's what he did for a
Yes.
bodybuilder. I
Yes, yes,
mean,
yes.
you crawling out of this saying, "Y'all
He's
never get
calling.
y'all niggas money." You just and it's but the thing is that's part of the process. You work on your weaknesses as much as your strengths.
Yes.
You want,
Yes.
especially as you said again, with you love doing shows as a figure competitor, you want that nice round
Mm-hmm.
look in the shoulders, you want that great cap.
Yeah.
The ladies, you want that nice shred because you look at the other divisions, totally different. But still,
Yeah.
again, if we see now how divisions are evolving and changing, the aesthetics of it is just, I don't know. I talk about this often, how the criteria of it is not, I think some judges not follow the criteria. If you look at the Olympia level competitors, and,
Right.
and then if someone like Sandy or Tyler or Steve Weinberger tell you, we want you bigger, but then wouldn't you feel like you might be getting too closer to the other division?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. For me personally, no. I think that I still have like 15 pounds that I can go up before that. But then again, bodybuilders, we're never big enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a weird line there between reality and what we see.
Yeah,
Which that's another hard part, right? Like the body dysmorphia that's a real thing.
yeah,
It's a
body
real thing.
dysmorphia, post-show blues, because when you get those gains, you can't maintain the shreds all year long. It's only for only a few times out of the year. But
Hmm.
that's the thing of it, because this is also the mental aspects of it, how
Yeah.
this what affects you, because you look at yourself, you feel like you're not big enough, even though hey, somebody's gonna tell you, yeah, you look great, you look amazing, you look great, but then
Mhm.
your mind saying, nah, I just don't feel like I'm there
Right.
because you're not so much as you're competing against somebody else, but it's more like you versus you. And you said again, you meet some ladies back there, you come cool. It's somebody that's be on stage you're hitting against, but still
Yeah.
you can be your own worst enemy when you're in the sport.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. And that's the thing. Like I've heard of athletes who are like, I lost before I even went on the stage because they were just like, the insecurities. They let that win, right? And we all have insecurities, but that doesn't mean that we have to be insecure, right? Just like overall, like I know that I can get bigger, right? That I probably do need to grow, right? But when I hit that stage, I'm going with the mentality like, I got I'm winning this. But it's hard sometimes for people to do that, right? Like to have that confidence. But I always pray that I keep my confidence, but I never want to become arrogant. You know, like I don't like that. Like I've met, like I said, like I met Wendy, and she's like one of the top athletes in the world, but you would never know that just by speaking to her. You know what I mean? Like that kindness, that brightness. And I've also, I'm not going to name any names, but have met other, top bodybuilders. And I'm like, they're kind of a douche. They're just like, just that arrogance. Like you feel that energy. And I'm like, please don't ever let me become that way.
I've
Even when I make it to where I want to be. Like,
I,
no.
I've I've experienced before because I remember my first badminton show I went back. It was in Santa Ana in 2022, and I met Donna Salib. She's a IFB bodybuilding pro, and she was there because she was working for Wings of Strength. They had a booth at
Mhm.
Savannah show because that was Linda Murray's show,
Yeah.
and we were talking before then on social media, and she
Mhm.
saw me. We talked, we hugged, we talked a good bit, after the show, and there was another competitor that was there who was also a female a woman's bodybuilder, was a fan of the chick. I don't speak her name on here because of a particular situation. Yes, you can tell the difference when you talk to somebody who just you can have a good rapport. You talk about things and then and then you have somebody says, you know what, I'm just not feeling you. I just feel like you just whatever issue you have, I just don't want to be around you. I can understand that, especially
Mm,
doing this
yeah.
contact. Reaching out to ladies and ladies or like I've ladies have become friendly with since doing this, still in contact with others. Whatever reason, we just don't. You know,
Yeah.
you know, like instead of you talk about Whitney's, you're a fan of hers. Who else is in sport? Men or women you really admire as an athlete?
Well, obviously, I mean Sydney, 8-time Olympia champ. I mean, come on. And I think she is like just the perfect combination of muscular and feminine. When that woman is on stage, she oozes femininity. Like that's goals, you know? Like just the way she flows is it's incredible. It's incredible. Yep, yep, yep. That's the
Yeah,
queen right there.
yeah,
And she's, I
yeah.
mean, beautiful, beautiful girl. And it's just like, yeah, it just that's the goal, right? Like she's got, and that's another thing that I've noticed has changed in figure. It's glute development. I feel like figure before there wasn't so much emphasis on that, but if you notice, the ladies that have been winning recently do have that development, right? Like have you noticed like rounder glutes? Like it's not so much just the quad sweep anymore. I feel like that's also changing. And I mean, look at Sid. She's like the perfect freaking hourglass.
Yeah, I think that's why I feel like that's why the reason it went between Lola Montez and Rhea Gale because Rhea has those good tie-ins and glutes compared to
Exactly.
Lola. Lola
Yeah.
just had that great look to her.
Hmm.
And feminine, I'm a fan of Lola Montez. I've even talked to her on social media. I told her like this: if you don't win, I'm boycotting Olympia. But she said, "Don't do that. Don't do that," because I think she has a great look to her. If you
Yeah.
look at someone like one lady who I met who also was doing figure, Paula Ranta. She was a
Mhm.
figure competitor for a while. Just saw, at the show in Mexico was about a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Remsteiner beat
I
Jessica
love
Rae.
her.
I mean, you beat the number three in the world. She was at the Olympia just maybe a week before. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think she was eighth place, and then she comes in and beat number three in the world. And you
Yeah.
look at someone like Missy Trescott, who's transitioned from fitness to figure. She has the
Yeah.
aesthetics, but I think she needs to work on a few things. Some say she might even need to go to women's physique because
Yeah.
I think she could being from fitness for a long time, she's put on
Hmm.
more size.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing, like I've always said like the your genetics pick your division. Like you don't choose your division, right? And yeah, you could work hard, but for example, like I have a really good friend who's a pro in wellness, and I always tell her like, look, I could work, take all the PEDs in the world, I will never be wellness. You know what I mean? Like, and I accept that. I think those bodies are incredible, but that's not me, right? Like that's not me. Like I naturally have always been, even when I was like 100 pounds, always naturally wider up here, like smaller on the bottom. That's just my genetics, right? But we have to play the cards we're dealt. And honestly, like I'm super happy with this division. But I even if I by some miracle would like be able to get real huge real quick, I don't think that I would want to transition from figure. I
Mhm.
think it's my favorite for me personally, right? Like is this division.
Well, I think that's true because I know right now number two in the world, Ashley was figured for a long time, and then she moved up. It's about
Mhm.
how your body grows and flows.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about finding the vision that works for you. I've seen some
Yep.
ladies that maybe they need to move up
Mm-hmm.
because how their body is growing. It's no
Yep.
point staying in the vision where you're starting to outgrow. But then
Right.
you look at some that, you know what, they found their spot. And you talk about your friend who does wellness. Wellness, those girls, you have to have those strong aesthetics, especially
Mhm.
you got to have bikini compared to the top with the bodybuilder bottom.
Right.
I would say like that. Some ladies have to. That's what the Brazilians do so well because they have that offers those strong Afro aesthetics,
Yeah.
And with your family, we talk about your mother. What do they feel
Mhm.
about? Did they support your bodybuilding? I know your mom. She's kind of worried about you. What about the rest of them? Like I know how they used to tell me, like sometimes the dad say, like, "Darling, I don't want you. I already got another boy. I don't need no boy. I don't want to be as buff." And again, I mean, do they come to shows to support you, or do they say, "That's our girl, yay"?
No. My parents not fans. Definitely not fans. My siblings, I have a huge family. I'm one of 7 kids. My baby brother also is a bodybuilder. Not competitively yet. I keep trying to push him to just pull the trigger. I think he looks great. He's probably my biggest supporter for sure. But my brothers do support. My sisters are just kind of like, hey, whatever, do what you want, Neither here nor there. But my parents, they've accepted it now, I think. But last year it was tough. Especially my dad, like if you were walking by me, he'd be like, "Oh shoot, excuse me, Arnold." But he definitely did not mean it as a compliment. But I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, why not? Arnold's like he's one of the top guys. Even though I'm not finished politics when it comes to the women bodybuilding, he's one of Arnold, Lucy Rigno, those are guys that really went from bodybuilding to mainstream.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I can say I come from a big family. I'm like one of nine. My
Oh,
parents were
wow.
together for 55 years, even though they were living. My dad would live in New Jersey, while we were still in North Carolina. I have an
Oh,
older brother from his first relationship. Then there's me, and I had 7 other sisters with him, my mother. Then I have a younger sister. I'm like, one of the next, the youngest. I can say
mhm.
I'm coming from a big family. Now it's not many of us because, my older brother James, who really was a superstar here in our family, we played football. He passed away 20 years ago. My sister Mary, she's been 8. My mom, she's been gone. My dad's been gone for 10. And it's good that you have, even though your parents don't like as much, but they respect you because you are an adult now. I mean, I
Yeah.
know they probably want you to be like, what's your family background? Like,
I'm Hispanic. I'm Hispanic.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so they're very traditional, like, conservative. So my mom's like, I remember I was dying because she saw my bikini, right, for the first one. And like I was doing my back pose and she's like, "That's porn." I'm like, because I'm in a thong, mom. No, it's not. It's part of the sport. Chill.
yeah.
So yeah, there's that, and it's interesting. My mom now, I think she worries more for my health, because she's my mom, right? Like she's one of my best friends. Honestly, like I owe that woman the world. Like she helps me so much every day, right? And I love the relationship I've been able to develop with her as an adult because I was kind of a troubled teen. But my dad is more like he just doesn't get it. But he's like chilled a bit too. Like he doesn't really say anything to me anymore. And he
Mhm.
he thinks I'm crazy, but I mean I kind of am. So
But you're his little girl. You're his baby girl.
yeah,
He
yeah,
he, he he's worried about you. Any man worried about it. Like I said, I never had children of my own. But I grew up in a big family, niece and nephews, great niece and nephews. I love them like they're my own. One of my
hmm
nephews, I took care of him for like 2 or 3 years. Me and my mother did. My mother, I can understand you. She was. I say it like this. My mother was my woman. When times when I was down, she stood by me, and when she was down, I stood by her.
yeah,
She was going through a lot. Was it about a little over 10 years ago when she got sick? She was in and out of the hospital with seizures, and then when she had strokes, and she was dealing with dementia. And
and
like this, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't really working anywhere. I was just, dealing with my situation because I had, went back to work, quit my job. She got sick, and I said, you know what? Let me take care of her because she took care of us.
yeah,
And I stood by her, went to hospitals, doctor appointments, and when she passed away, she got the C19, and it seemed like I lost somebody because taking care of her, I've been a fan of Biden for a long time,
hmm
and I was already doing this a bit because it helped me in my mindset because dealing with her
yeah,
stuff. But it's good that we become adults. We become friends with our parents. We still got to remember. I used to do this. I used to say this to my mom. Say, "Ain't I a man, mama? Ain't I a man?" She said, "No, you're my baby. I'm a man,
Aw.
mama. I'm a man. I'm a man." But she told me that it says, "Son, I I wish your sisters were here doing this, not you." When I had to get up and change her or wash her, she said to me,
Mm,
because my sisters, one, she had a stroke, and my sister Mary had a stroke. She couldn't do too much. She had to take care of
mhm,
herself. My sister Jean, she wasn't. She had the job. She didn't be comfortable with this. And my sister Betty, she had a husband. She had to take care of. He was a quadriplegic.
oh man.
Someone had to be here. because my
Yeah.
brother was gone. My younger brother, he couldn't handle this shit. Someone had to step up. And like I said again, she was my woman, and I needed to do that. I remember, girlfriends, wives, they come and go, but when you have a mother, you lose her, you can never replace her.
Yeah.
We here have a shot to my man, Corey, sticking here, says, you have to do what makes you happy in life, even if others don't accept it. That's true.
Mhm.
Because,
Yeah.
you got to live for you. You can't live for nobody else.
Yeah. 100%. And that's the thing. Regardless of what you're doing, somebody's not going to be in agreement, regardless of what it is, you know? And of course, don't do anything that's going to like hurt others, right? But yeah, so long as you're not hurting anyone and it makes you happy, I agree, Corey. I agree. Like it's at the end, it's my life. Like this is what brings me joy. And I was sad and depressed for and lost for like 12 years. I was a wreck for so long because of other, stuff that happened to me early on in life. And if I found something that genuinely makes me happy and makes me want to like push and it brings me this community, right? Like what? Yeah, why not? Why not?
Mhm.
Why not? And of course, you do have to like I do have my health in mind and I'm constantly getting checked and do everything as safely as possible, right? But I mean, we all got to go one day, right? I want to go doing what I love.
Yeah. His thing is, you know what? Father Time's undefeated. But what bodybuilding does, I've talked to ladies like who in their 50s, 60s. I mean, interview a lady who's in her 70s who's an IFB pro.
Mhm.
Bodybuilding may not stop Father Time, but it can halt it just a little bit.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we're not meant to live forever. Humans, our life
yeah,
is, it could be a flicker of an eye. Something can
mhm,
happen, boom, 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 boom. But
yeah,
when you find something that you love doing, that you enjoy doing, like me doing this, interviewing you, talking about your ladies and doing content like ladies and having, yeah, like your ladies. But, that's the thing about life. It's precious. And,
yeah,
you should take advantage as much as often as you can.
right. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's the thing too. Like I don't want people to think that being a bodybuilder is just something like selfish, right? Like I want to use my platform to inspire others. It's not just like, hey, hey, look at me, look what I've done, right? It's more like if I can do this, you can too. And if I can help one person not give up, what more can I ask for? You know what I mean? Like that's what I want. I want to inspire others. And it doesn't have to necessarily be to like, be competitive bodybuilders, but just to make that choice, to like better their health. Just, okay, my mom's like always like, well, yeah, we all have to die. And I'm like, yeah, of course we do. But you also like don't have to suffer like your whole life. If there's certain things that you can change to make your quality of life better, like I want to be the person to guide you and help you do that because I've seen it with my own life. Like it's definitely possible to turn it around, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, most people, they're just content to just live life as a life. You just have to make that choices. The thing is, like,
Yeah.
especially when you get into sport, things change. You change,
Yeah.
friendship change, and again, dealing with your family's dynamic and how they feel about it. But you can only live for yourself. You can't live for nobody else. You can't only if
Mhm.
you can't make yourself happy. Why try and make anybody else happy?
Oh yeah. 100%. You can't. You're pouring out of a cup that's empty. you know?
Yeah. And the thing is also people who don't understand why you do it for them and like they have an issue. Like I said, go for folks, this is a beautiful young lady. She has a great personality about her and also a beautiful physique. If you're a person who don't like it, here's the thing like this is from my favorite comedian, Bernie Mac. He says, son, if people don't like you, fuck them. That's all you can because you know what? This is why I do this interview and reach out to you ladies because to share your stories. You never know that you might inspire somebody who's been in your situation. I've known quite a few ladies that have done with either medical issues, mental
Mhm.
issues,
Mhm.
physical issues, just the hardship of life. And they found this sport. Like one lady I interviewed just a while ago, she said bodybuilding saved her life because she was going through something mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
People who walked away from just realizing that they needed something, the fulfillment of it. And this is what it
Mhm.
is. Yes, it's a stream. Yes, you're gonna hear stories about this and that and this and that and that,
Yeah.
that. But those are just a few cases. But generally, many of y'all are decent people. You love this sport. You love the drive. You love the training. You love the wearing the high heels for y'all ladies. I'm talking to ladies that they were happy when we get our high heels. They were happy because they hated the high heels. One lady told me how she sometimes used to do like this. If it gets swole, she'd take a blow dryer and just to get the band around her feet.
Oh, to stretch it out.
Yeah. I mean, but thing is, that's the thing is about this. When you find something that you truly love, and it's something that you love the aspects of the training, the diet not so much, and the prep brain not so much, and maybe not so much, but you love to go on that stage and that presentation. And us guys, people, men, women, whoever, we go to the shows. We see these beautiful physiques, these beautiful bodies, these the hard work you men and women put into it, but don't understand what took you there, the dehydration, the dieting, the hangry, sometimes you have to, like, especially like I know your family have family events and then you can't eat
Mm,
what's
yeah.
there. Like they know your mother's probably a mean cook. She probably, and it smells good, but you can't eat it because you know what? It mess up your process. You want to get that pro card. You want to get that stage.
Yeah.
So you have to make decisions that's best for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanksgiving's around the corner. This is gonna be
Christmas
the
not that
second Thanksgiving I'm missing.
Christmas not that far down the line. I mean, ooh, summer just finished. We had like a lot of Fourth of July, a lot of stuff going
Mhm.
around. Yeah, but that's the thing is, if you want to get that pro card, if you want to be on stage at the Olympia, if you want to stomp rub shoulders with people like Jessica
Mhm.
Reyes or Wendy Fortino, you have to make not as much as sacrifices, investment. This is what I'm talking about. It's not, George. It's not a sacrifice. It's an investment.
It's a good way of looking at it. I like
Hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And also the thing is again, the cost of training and everything else. Are you a sponsored athlete?
I am sponsored part time by a peptide company and also a pharmaceutical company. Um, Premier Peptides changed my life. Besides my diet, they were literally the determining factor that made the change so that I was finally able to stay healthy long enough to compete. Like I am forever grateful. Like I said, I had tried for 10 years unsuccessfully, and I've been using peptides for healing for 2 years, and those are the 2 years that got me here. So it's wild, but yeah, it's Premier Peptides USA and also GG Pharmaceuticals.
Hmm. So, folks, if you want to check them out, you can go to the links in her description here in the live. Check
Mhm.
it out. You can find them in her bio. If you're a competitor or just somebody maybe needing to help you get over a little bit, help you with your issues, especially with working out training, check
Yeah.
out the peptide company. But also like this, I think sponsor does help for you ladies if you get the right sponsors. But then you got to remember, some guys out there say, "Hey, Maria,
You need a
yeah,
sponsor.
yeah. I see, yeah. If I do a favor for you, no, you sick freak. I know what you're thinking about. I know because I'm one of you. But I've learned how to control my urges. This is what you want to do. I want to point out, and there's guys out there. You have the means and the way he helps the competitors. Look at the investment in helping somebody reach your level. This is what you do. You sit down with her and say, Mrs. Berretta, we are interested in your story, your path of how you deal with a very rare disease and how you found yourself in bodybuilding. You have a great story about yourself. So we are a company. We like to help you reach your next level. We love to sponsor you, make you one of our brand ambassadors. So if you're interested in the process, if you're interested in working with us, it's something that you feel like our product can provide for you, only
Mhm.
that you feel like you need or might want, let
Mhm.
us know. We're happy to help you out. We have exchange a great relationship between the both of us. So, madam, if you feel like this is something you might be interested in, just let us know.
Mhm. Mhm. There you go.
Yeah, I wish I can do that. I wish I could. I'm broke as a joke. By the time I pay my rent, my light bill,
You're
shit.
ready.
The rent, listen, again, no, I live in North Carolina. Where I live, this housing, it's not too expensive, but still, I still got other things. So I'm like, oh god, you know,
Life. Oh,
yeah,
I know.
it's life. Life is tough. I wish I could do more, but this is why I have this channel to give ladies like yourself the opportunity to share your story. My dream one day is to interview Andrea someday, but when I get a chance to talk with someone like you, And I can understand what you're going through, dealing with medical issues. Like I said, I got a pacemaker.
Yeah.
I had a heart attack when I was like 39 years old, just a few months from
Oof.
my 40th birthday. Dealing with other stuff and seeing it with other people.
Yeah.
Finding this sport that helps you in that recovery, in that process, it's really
Hmm.
good. You gotta respect your passion and
Yeah.
your determination, discipline. That's the most important part of it. Motivation can change with the wind. I've talked to
Oh yeah.
ladies, but if you have that discipline, that will, that drive, that really
Hmm.
helps you in the long run.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, that's the thing. I feel like people make the mistake of waiting to start their health journey when until they feel motivated. But motivation doesn't come first. Discipline should come first. You know what I mean? Because like you said, like motivation comes and goes. Especially like when you're in prep, right? Like you have your good days and you have your bad days, you know? And like sometimes I open my eyes and I'm like, geez, did I even sleep? I'm so tired. Yeah, well, you still have to go lift for 3 hours. And then guess what? You still have to do cardio. Yep. You're tired. Who cares? Get up. You know what I mean? But it's the discipline that pushes you forward. And that's the hardest part, like the discipline, like you said. And it's, I'm very like open on my social media about like what I'm doing, like, oh, I'm going for my 3 in the morning, 3 mile walk and this and that. But it's like, and I try to be positive on there, right? But they don't see that sometimes, like, especially on my bulk, oh my goodness, when you're eating that many calories and it's clean calories, it's a ton of food, and it's not like, yeah, you could hit it if I'm freaking eating a whole pizza or like a cake, you get there quick. But when it's clean calories, it's a lot of food. So there were times where I was like literally borderline in tears, just shoveling the food in my mouth because I was just not hungry. But I don't have the luxury of missing a meal. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's the whole other side of that, the cut, right? When you're like starving. And I always say that like we bodybuilders truly are gluttons for torture because you're never eating the correct amount. You're either overeating or you're undereating all the time. And it's hard, but like you said, it's that discipline. It's the discipline. It all comes down to discipline.
That's the important part of it. Because most people, it gets to a point where you say, you know what, I'm done. I quit. I don't want to do it anymore. But if you want to get to that next level, you have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, you have
Mhm.
to be willing to push yourself. If you're not willing to push yourself, don't do it. Go home, eat Cheetos and cupcakes and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know, I could do it. I mean, but like I said again, I did make some choices for myself health wise. I'm not going to be perfect, but I just try to keep better. And again, with sport, it's good that you do have people that say, but I mean, maybe one day your parents should go to one of your shows. Like your dad said, "That's my little girl up there. He's clapping," but they see the guy next to him and said, "Yeah, yeah, who's her? Yeah, I mean, can she be my baby girl? Hey, 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 hey." Your dad's a strong Latino man. He has to whoop somebody's ass over his little baby. But the
Yeah.
thing is, that's the good thing apart. When you have people like that that stand in your corner, your parents, even though again they're not too happy about it, but they know you are who you are because of what they have instilled in you, the values, the lessons you've grown.
Mhm.
And as adults, we learn to do our own thing. We still maintain something that we learned from our parents, stuff I learned.
Mhm.
My mom had to raise 6 kids, 2 grandkids.
Yeah.
She taught me to be a hustle.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to hustle sometimes. I learned that from her, and I appreciate that. And it's good that you have found something to help with your life. That's
Yeah.
what about bodybuilding. It's when you had a pandemic a few years ago, a lot of bodybuilders going hard because they love the gym, this place for them to go. But then they kind of evolved because some people they had their own gyms. They found ways to work out. Your coach, he does online coaching that has blown up the last few years. Do you do also online coaching with some of your clients, or is it just mostly one on one?
Yeah, it's I'm trying to transition. I also work at like private rehab centers. I speak on nutrition and physical wellness for mental health. It's private rehabs for people that are coming off of like drugs and alcohol. But I want to transition into doing mostly online. So my website, it's almost done. There's the link is on in my bio. It's like in the final stages of development because I do want to focus more on that, just because this life is a lot. I for the last 2 years, I feel like I'm always in a rush. It's like I have to get all my stuff done, prep all my food because I have to prep all my food. I can't eat out ever. And then it's like straight to work, and then I have to come back and like do cardio. And then, oh my God, it's 3 in the morning. You better shower and go to bed, like, and I feel like it's go, 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 go. And I don't know. I feel like I might be called to leave Los Angeles. I was born and raised here. I've been here for almost 37 years now. And cost of living here is just insane. And I don't know. I want to do something where I can be working from anywhere in the world. That is my ultimate goal. And to have the freedom to make my own hours and focus 100% on bodybuilding. But I do, yeah, so that's the plan, hopefully for this coming year, just to transition to online.
Yeah, it's good. I know, like you can, like I say, you think about Dallas. Dallas is really reasonable, and I said again, it's becoming a growing mecca. Also,
Mhm.
Arizona. That's also, I think, to say that's a little bit reasonable.
Mm.
Come down south. You can live pretty well. Like places like Georgia. Or Mississippi, something like that. The weather's a little better. We don't get as cold as out west.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about like when we have snow, it don't last no more than half a day. So
Mm.
that's the thing. But yeah, I think everybody finds something that really helps them in their training and their process. Folks,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull this up real quick. This is her link. It's not up yet. It's still
Mhm.
working on it. So if you're interested, once it's up, I'm gonna leave the link in the description of the live. If you're someone interested just for health lifestyle reasons, you can go check it out. Once she's settled, she'll let me know. And
Yeah.
you can go check it out. It's gonna be in the description of the live stream. It's she likes to help people. As you know, that's a good thing that you're doing good work. Because it doesn't hurt to help. It never hurts to
Yeah.
maybe change somebody's life if you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's what I hope to do because, and I think that, we all suffer differently, right? In this life, we all go through different things. But I think you can go one of two ways, right? You can either accept the defeat and dig a hole for yourself and feel sorry for yourself and play the victim card, or you can use it to not only better your own life, right? Learn from those experiences, but help others. Like, I think that's the beauty in the pain, right? The growth.
Yeah, it's important because you know what? We all have to grow eventually. Some people, like especially with your parents, they're a little older, they're set in their ways. But I think they're a little bit now. You said they're a little more chill, a little more open minded. Your brother, I hope he's considered thinking about making this maybe opportunity because with the guys, they get a little bit more leeway than compared to the women. But
Yeah.
yourself, you have sitting here in a conversation with you, you have amazing personality. You
Thank
have
you.
a great look to you. I mean, ma'am, as a Southern gentleman, it is my pleasure to tell a lady that let her know that she's wonderful, she's beautiful. It's my honor. Like I said, you said I've been living here 51 years. I might be not as spry as I used to be, but I'm still in my prime, like the great Doc Holliday said. But that's the thing about this sport. You
Yeah.
find something that you love about it. If it's from
Mm.
the training, the working out, the people like you meet like Whitney and the other ladies you met during your time.
Mm.
It's a sport. Even though most everyday people don't understand it, they still look at like back in the day. I had a discussion where right now I'm going to do on Monday. I do a thing called podcast. Called my Must Talk Monday. We talk about things in bodybuilding stuff that go on and how is it worth watching women's bodybuilding, female bodybuilding if nobody else is watching because it's not on
Mm.
like network
Mhm.
television. It's not on cable. You got to catch on pay-per-views on the internet. There's only a
Yeah.
handful of people who talk about. We are a handful of guys who talk about you exclusive. My man David, he's interviewed named David from Female Body Forum. There's a Female Body channel. There's Claudio, hardcore female body fan. My man KL the Wonder, he does content.
Mhm.
We want to give y'all ladies the opportunity to share your story.
Yeah.
And we hear your passion, your drive. Again, not everybody can do what y'all do. Like the great Rocky Balboa says, like, it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you take the hits and keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah.
How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Yeah, yeah. No, 100%. 100%. And that's I really appreciate you, doing this because I've seen it. Like I was actually at the Pittsburgh Pro this year just as a spectator, and it broke my heart to see the men's day compared to the women's day. And like Lena was there, and I'm like all these big names, and I'm like, oh my god! Like when it was the men, it was packed, bursting at the seams. And the next day for the ladies, like I saw less audience than I do at my amateur shows. And I was like, dang, like that. I don't know. It broke my heart. Like these are some of like the great. It's the Pittsburgh Pro. It's one of the biggest shows. And to see that, I'm like, man, that's rough. And there's the whole controversy between like you spoke on how much less the women get paid, right? But at the same time, you have to see it from the promoter's view, right? Like who's bringing in the money.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't necessarily call it unfair in a business sense, but it makes me really sad.
I say it like this: the men's division is the bottom bitch. It's, if you know anything about the pimping game, it's the one, Jim Manion and the Manion family, they're the pimps. And the men's division is the one that brings in the money. We all know that. But
Yeah.
y'all ladies, y'all make up percentage of the sport. They're like now, counting women's bodybuilding, which is the architect,
Mhm.
fitness, figure, physique, wellness, bikini, and you have oh, spit. Sorry, fit model. I call it spit model. Y'all make up the numbers, but we need people to be open and willing and wanting to support y'all. You
Yeah.
know, come to shows because you want to support a fan. Like when I went to my first Spider-Man show, and I remember Andrea was there guest posing. It was great to see her. She was amazing.
Mhm.
I was just because I was a fan. I was
Yeah.
supporting the women, and also I watched the guys too. I'm not a fan of. Well, younger I was because I grew up in the '80s. Guys like Arnold and Franco Columbo and
Mhm.
Lou Ferrigno, Lee Haney. But as I said again, when I get to my teenage years, I just something about y'all ladies just have changed my because it's a fringe. But then this thing that would draw some people to it. It is a fringe,
Mhm.
but if you're willing to go as far as you do now, to
Mhm.
take, and go through the work and the discipline and even a bit of suffering to get there, you deserve a little bit more. I say it again. I'm not saying that Andrea should get like $600,000. I wish she would. I would say at least kick it up to $100,000 because you know what? She's there. She's consistent. She, they just went back and forth between Heidi and Samson and Derek again, but she's
Yeah.
been a consistent champion for 6 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I would say she deserves a little more, and
Yeah.
and that's why I do these, have my live streams and podcasts, and even try to invite somebody. Some ladies don't want to talk about it because they want to feel like I don't want to talk about it, but some who are willing, open to talk about the situation that's going on in bodybuilding. Yes, because this is your sport. If you're
Yeah.
not going to really fight for it, why should I? I have no skin in the game.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
have
Yeah.
nothing in the game.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So, folks, we're not gonna hold Maria too much longer. I know she's a busy day, busy lady. She's
It's
getting ready.
fun.
Yeah, she's about, is it, I think, 6 weeks out from the, is it 6 or 7 weeks?
Six. Six.
Six, okay, 6 weeks out
Mhm.
from the nationals. I know a lady who I just interviewed. Her name is Roxy. She's going to be competing there in bodybuilding
Nice.
women's physique. She's working hard, training. She's dealing with
Mhm.
her own disease. I said again, the link is here. It's not up yet. If you want to check it out, once it's up, she'll let us know. And you just, in the links in your live stream, you want to check out. If someone interested in working, because you know what, if you work with her, she makes money. She can afford to compete. She can make the shows. I would say I advise her, hey, really do a little mingling too, because I did interview a lady, she's a bikini competitor. After she did um the amateur Olympia, she was won her
Mhm.
medal. She went out. Her name is Chantel.
Oh,
She went out and talked and mingled with all of the talk with the people because you're going to have
yeah.
a lot of vendors there. You have a great
Mhm.
look to you. You have a great physique. You never know. Somebody say, you know what, might like you, might me help you out. That's the advice I want to give you. That's why I do this.
Thank
So
you.
ma'am, to quote my favorite hero, The Dark Knight, you never have to. This is why I do this. I don't need things. I do appreciate it, but I don't need it because this is my purpose. This gives me
Mhm.
something because, like I said again, the woman I love the most, she's gone, and this is what I do. It gives me purpose. It gives me something to do in my life
Yeah.
because what y'all ladies do and how y'all do it, you got to respect for it. If people don't understand them, that's on them. It's not on you. If you are a guy, his thing is men and women. Men, we have our thing. Any man who compares himself to a woman, you got sugar in your cane. What's wrong with you?
That's
So
funny.
yeah. So like I said, give it a whole much longer. You have anybody want to shout out?
My mama, my mom, and my coaches, honestly, my sponsors. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've come a long way these last 2 years, but it's the tip of the iceberg, baby. We've got long ways to go, and it's only the beginning, but it's looking like a bright future. So super excited, super grateful to God also. Always got my back. Yeah.
I'll leave you with one last question. What would
Mhm.
you want out of bodybuilding for yourself in a whole?
Like overall, like the goal, the biggest goal,
Hmm.
honestly, it's just the ability to do it for me. Like I of course want to come home with that pro card in December, and I fully intend on actually competing as a pro because as you know a lot of athletes get the card and then don't compete in the pro circuit. I want to keep going. I want to keep going and see how high I can go. And again, just to be able to share my story and hopefully, you know, convince one person not to quit. And if I can do that, I think I'll be happy.
Well, I think that's a good thing. That's the thing you want for yourself, and also to help inspire other people. That's
Yeah.
the most important. I mean, it takes a a special person to do what y'all do, and to want to train, to work out, to make that decision to go all in as an IFP pro, because you're going to start from the bottom. It's going to be
Yeah.
tough.
Mm-hmm.
Competing against ladies who've been competing for 10, 20 years. Some ladies who just have phenomenal physiques who don't have to deal with any kind of issues other than
Mm-hmm.
just maybe trying to find a promoter or sponsor. You
Yeah.
know, there's opportunity there, especially for figures. It's a little more. Yeah, I think it's one of the divisions where it's a little more deep compared to with I'll say women's bodybuilding and physique. Did last year lost a few shows in the pros, but still there's opportunity for y'all because you have a certain look to you. I would say this: I do wish you all the best in that. Anybody again who gets in sport really has to really understand what's involved in it. Oh no! Why do you want it? I'm sorry. He has to say something. Oh yeah, Maria. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something from the deepest part of my heart, and I have a heart. You are beautiful. I'm just saying. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know if I get one. I'm, I'm so sorry. Please me. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you people that were here who watched. Shout out to my man Corey came through. Thank you for your comment, brother. Appreciate that.
Thank
If you're someone out there who is in the sport, somebody out there who's a fan who wants to help promote a woman like Maria Berretta, who's interested in seeing how far she goes in career, reach out in genuine interest. We don't want these guys, guys. This I say to you, this is an old country saying: you get more with a silk glove than with an iron fist. I know what you're doing with that iron fist, so stop it. Be respectful. Have a genuine plan, something that works, and just look that you want to see an athlete grow in their sport.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. So, folks, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of this month. We can't believe it. God,
Woo.
it
Almost
just seemed,
there.
yeah, it just seemed like we just started this year. It's now, what the hell? It seemed like when I was growing up, it seemed like Christmas took forever, but now it's around the corner. And birthdays
I
seem like it was
know.
like once every once every blue moon, but it seems like it pops up every minute.
I
But
know.
that's life. That's life.
Yeah.
So again, ma'am, I wish you best of luck on your upcoming
Thank you so
show.
much.
I hope you do get your pro card. We would love to see
Thank you.
you make your pro debut. If you don't get it, as you know, there is. You talk about your coach lives in Tennessee. There is the I think the Junior USA's in Tennessee. Maybe that'd be a good show. You can get to meet your coach if you in Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
obviously I'm gonna go in there thinking I'm gonna win the pro card, but if I don't, I'm not gonna give up.
yeah. Not gonna get over. Yeah, keep fighting,
On
keep
to the
fighting.
next one.
Just keep moving forward like Rocky Ball. Hey, you're Adrian. Keep moving forward. Yeah.
Yes.
So, folks, I appreciate y'all coming through. I'd like to thank again the lovely Miss Maria Berretta for coming through and sharing her story. Again, I appreciate my guests who watch and comment, subscribe, follow on social media. Her link description of the live. Her uh her website's not up yet. Once it, you can check it back and forth. Go to her social media platform, and once it's up, check her out. If you're someone interested, maybe working out, training with her, and she is a lovely lady. And she's also good at what she does. Reach out in genuine interest. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that
Don't be that guy.
guy.
Anyway, folks, this is man all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out. Good night, good luck, and God bless. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.